Well, I quit my job down.
Now we got Mike in Deerwood, Minnesota. Next up on the Ray Lucia Show, so let's get to the calls here. Hello, Mike.
Hello, Ray.
How you doing there, buddy?
Well, good. I listen to your show all the time. I enjoy it.
Thank you very much. Spread the word, will you?
I seldom hear you say the words always and never, but you do in a couple of instances, and both of them affect me.
All right, well, let's talk about it.
In one case, you say never reverse dollar cost average.
Yes.
And I'm thinking of doing it. I'm thinking of pensionizing my stable value fund.
Okay,
I've been retired
that's not
a year
reverse
now.
dollar cost averaging. A stable value fund isn't a volatile fund, so reverse dollar cost averaging out of that doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Let me explain what I'm talking about when I say never reverse dollar cost average. You see, when we talk about the stock market, dollar cost averaging is where you invest a sum of money on a regular basis into the market, taking advantage of volatility. Therefore, averaging your share prices lower as the market goes down, and obviously as the markets go up, you have more shares to benefit by that rise in price. Now, that's adding money to a portfolio. That's dollar cost averaging. When you do that in reverse, you're selling shares in order to produce the income that you need, and the volatility would cause you to have to sell more shares instead of buying more shares. Therefore, you don't have the ability to recover. So what you're doing is you're taking a distribution from a stable value fund. By its very definition, a stable value fund is stable. That's a bucket number one. So you're not reverse dollar cost averaging. You are bucketizing.
Okay.
Compliments to the chef. You've done a good job here. That's exactly what you should be doing.
Okay, I thought so, and I've been working on it some, and now that I've been retired a year, I'm starting to figure out what our expenses are going to be so I can do a good job of that.
Yeah, well, I mean, how big is your portfolio and how much are you taking out of it? And I'll tell you if I'm freaking out or not.
Well, my portfolio is about $700. I've got this particular fund is in a traditional IRA, and that comprises about $300 of my $700. I'm going to take out of that $1,000 a month, and so that's 4% or so. And I've got in my bucket. My next question refers to my bucket 3, actually.
All right, go ahead.
That is, you say always reinvest dividends and capital gains.
Yeah, for the same reason.
Yeah, I see that, and of course I did that all through my accumulation phase. But now that I'm
that bucket is still in the accumulation phase. That's the point.
Okay, so I since I'm taking money out of my qualified accounts to live on, I have to pay. I'm in the 15% tax bracket, so I pay tax on that.
Okay.
If I let the dividends and capital gains, or if I use dividends and capital gains for living expense, then I don't take that out and don't pay the tax on it.
You still pay the tax on dividends and capital gains.
No, but now I don't pay the tax on the money that I'm not taking out of my qualified.
Okay, so here's the problem. You've got to blend your buckets, right? So what you need is a retooling of your bucket plan, because some of your bucket number 3 money needs to be moved into bucket 1, and some of your bucket number 1 money needs to be moved into bucket number 3, because what you've done is a good job of bucketizing, but the tax plan isn't working. Remember, strategy first. You're pretty close on the strategy. Second thing, got to get the tax plan right, because you are bringing up an interesting point. If you take too much money out of the IRA, it ends up tossing you into a higher bracket. Strategy first, tax plan right. Number 3, keep the fees down. You do those 3 things, you're a true bucketeer. Hang on. I'll have somebody help coach you through that, all right?
Okay.
All right, that's Mike in Deerwood, Minnesota. Obviously, a do-it-yourself bucketeer, and that's fine. But every once in a while, we got to do a little tweakage. Got to help him out a little bit. Make sure he's getting it right. And he was going down a path that I don't like. I don't like taking dividends from an equity portfolio. I would much prefer to reinvest them. For the same reason, I don't want to reverse dollar cost average from a volatile portfolio to take income out of. Because the advantage of dollar cost averaging, that is to say, reinvesting those dividends, and the advantage of selling safe money so that the volatile assets can have time to recover, buying more shares at the bottom, is huge. And if you've ever attended one of my seminars or one of my webinars, I go through this stuff and I show examples. And I'm not talking about, $10,000, $20,000 on $100,000 after 25 years. I'm talking the difference of $600,000 with a starting balance of $100,000. Taking out 7 or 8% per year on a 25-year study. Not done by me. Now, I've done my own work, but you can't rely on that. I'm no super economist. I'm just a regular Joe that's done this for 37 years. Now I'm talking about Ibbotson and Werba, Bowen, Dow Jones. They did a massive study for 25 years that shows this incredible difference between basically extracting money from a volatile portfolio versus one that's less volatile. I just took that a step further and said, let's have no volatile. Let's have a non-volatile portfolio. So in his particular situation, he's got to blend his buckets. He has to have some money that's taxable, that's safe and secure and pensionized, and some money that's pre-taxed, that's pensionized. That's how we solve Mike's problem.